Today we are talking about more disturbing movies you've hopefully never seen. What's up? Welcome back, ghouls and gals. I have been compiling this list for a few weeks now, and what the catalyst actually was for this video was Pink Flamingos of all movies, but we'll get there. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out all of my links down below. If you would like to see any more of me or support the channel any further, I do have a whole letterboxd list I will link down below of all of the disturbing movies I've talked about on this channel. So in today's video, we're talking about 5 disturbing movies, 4 of which I'm hoping you've never seen, possibly heard of, but maybe you've never sat down to watch. So let's start off with the classic Pink Flamingos from 1972, directed by John Waters. Notorious Baltimore criminal and underground figure Divine goes up against Connie and Raymond Marble, a sleazy married couple who make passionate attempts to humiliate her and seize her tabloid-given title as the filthiest person alive. Now, I've seen Pink Flamingos, but I've never watched Pink Flamingos, if that makes sense to you. Like, I've been at parties where this movie has been on television. I've been in rooms where this has been on. I've watched breakdowns of this movie, but I've never sat down myself to fully digest, and I use that term loosely if you've seen the end of the movie. Okay. What really got me, okay, I was fine. Everything was fine. I was fine. I was like, this movie is not that bad. Until I saw the insides of a man come out. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. There is a specific scene in this movie, fully goes legs over the head. I was like, he's gonna self-suck. That's not what he does. He fully makes his butthole a tunnel, and you see a train come out. That's a really terrible analogy, but I feel like I'm trying to be YouTube safe. It's just like looking into this man's open orifice is something that I will never get out of my head. And there's just like a point where Alex and I looked at each other and we're like, you know what? Yeah, this is filth. This is absolute filth. I forever now will go, eggs, eggs, eggs. It was just like a masterpiece in the most vile way, and now I need to like dive into Divine. We are gonna watch the I Am Divine documentary probably this weekend. I am just so fascinated by the filth. I don't know, man. It was something. It was fun. If you guys haven't actually like sat down to fully eyes glued to the screen, no distractions, watch Pink Flamingos, like, I suggest you do it because I am a better person for it. Okay, let's get into a more recent release. This movie is not as disturbing as you would think it is, but it's pretty disturbing. The Plague from 2025, a socially awkward tween endures the ruthless hierarchy at a water polo camp, his anxiety spiraling into psychological turmoil over the summer. Highly recommend this one. This is just what it's like it's what you would expect when you would watch a group of boys in this generation be together, and it reaches the boiling point of like bullying, cliques and all that stuff, and where you fit in. It's disturbing to watch because they are so young, and some of the things that are said and done are just like, oh my god, get this kid away. Like I said, it's not nearly as disturbing as some of the other films I'm going to talk about, but I do want to put it on your radar because it's just like an unflinching portrait of childhood anxieties when you're away from home. All right, I've said it before and I will say it again. You know a movie is going to be absolutely batshit off the wall when Caleb Landry Jones makes an appearance. So today I'm recommending Nitram or Nitram. I believe it's Nitram. From 2021, based on true events, Nitram lives with his parents in suburban Australia in the mid-90s. He lives a life of isolation and frustration, never fitting in. As his anger grows, he begins a slow descent into a nightmare that culminates in the most heinous of acts. This movie is a portrait of all of the events leading up to the 1996 Port Arthur attacks in Tasmania. It was a massacre, and this movie attempts to unravel why this happened. Talk about absolutely unflinching. This movie wants you to sit with its story, and it wants you to really reflect on it. 2 days ago, a little kid, like a 16-year-old kid, was stabbed and killed 3-4 blocks away from where I am because he was being bullied and he was targeted, and 50 people stood around and watched while this kid bled out and died. And it's really thinking about how we're understanding the events in this story, and then like I'm putting that in my brain, like immediately thinking about how that could have even happened. Allegedly, it was a bullying, going back to the plague, it was a bullying situation where it was a targeted attack. This kid was killed in broad daylight at 6 p.m. 2 days ago. On the 27th of April, Nitram really gives you a perspective on what makes people snap and perhaps how we can avoid that. And with it being a true story, it really does hit home that much harder when a tragedy happens close to you. That one it's a hard watch, I will say. And Caleb Landry Jones, he fully commits to every role that he's in. We just watched Antiviral. He is fantastic in that movie. I love him in Get Out. He is just so insane in everything that he's in because he fully goes balls to the wall and commits to every character. And this one is no different. Okay, let's get a little darker here with The Little Girl That Lives Down the Lane. From 1976, a 13-year-old girl who lives with her absentee father befriends a disabled teenage amateur magician and invites him in gradually to her tenuous struggle against a predatory local neighbor. This movie is essentially The Three Little Pigs. We are watching Martin Sheen, a full-grown adult, prey on a child in this movie, trying to get her, if you know what I mean. She's 13 years old. Jodie Foster was actually 13 years old in this movie, portraying this child being preyed upon. Jodie Foster actually celebrated her 13th birthday on set for this movie. How dark. This is a cautionary tale to not leave your kids home alone. I really don't want to say anything else about this one because I do think you should genuinely check it out. It's on Tubi. It is a little bit of a disturbing film, but like I say with movies like this, when there are familiar faces that you recognize, it kind of helps the watch, if that makes any sense. When it's people you don't know, you don't recognize, it's harder to separate that this is a movie, but just know that this one is about predatory adults preying on children. But let's move into our last thing I want to talk about. This is an anthology. The whole thing is not as disturbing as you think it would be. It is. This is Destricted from 2006. If there's a trailer, I will insert it. I don't even know if there is one, but this is a compilation of erotic films.
Threesome. I've been really looking forward to that. Came close to a few times, but stuff fell through.
Given care, I'm sure I could manage.
Intended to illuminate the points in life where art meets sexuality. Okay. With directors like Larry Clark, Gaspar Noé, Maria Abramovic, and even Sam Taylor Johnson. The short I want to absolutely highlight, though, is Gaspar Noé's short. It is the most disturbing thing in this by far. It is a segment called We Fuck Alone. And it is a really, like, it's hard to watch. There's droning noises, there's flashing lights, there's really disturbing sexual scenes with a baby screaming and crying in the background, and it is just an attack on the senses. It's so visually hard to watch. It's hard to listen to. It's a hard one to sit with. It's not that long. Larry Clark's segment in this is actually 38 minutes. It's the longest segment in this anthology. His is called Impaled, and it's fun, but it's still kind of disturbing. But all of these have an undertone of a disturbing sexual theme, some more disturbing than others. Check it out at your own risk. We kind of only watched half of it because after a while it just wasn't for us. But I do recommend you checking out the Gaspar Noé segment, especially if you want to be disturbed, and check out the Larry Clark segment, Impaled, especially if you like and are a Larry Clark completionist. The Maria Abramovic, her segment is called The Balkan Erotic Epic. It's not that disturbing. It's just a fun watch. I don't know. It's a long anthology. This one comes in at almost 2 full hours long, so a warning there, but I'm gonna stop yapping because it's 12 o'clock. I have to go to work in half an hour. I never work this late in the day. I have a conference call today. I work in cosmetics, so that should be boring. I am just really not looking forward to going in this late. I am a 9 to 5 girl, not a afternoon girl. So let me know any of these movies you've seen, you want to watch, you've actually heard of but haven't seen. Let me know your thoughts on Pink Flamingos, and if you're like me, if you've seen it but you never actually sat down to watch and digest it. So I'll see you in my next video. Did you guys enjoy the Resident Evil trailer? Let me know. I'll see you guys very soon. Sayonara, Spooky fam.